Burnout recovery doesn't happen overnight. It was a slow burn that got you here. It's going to be a little bit of a climb out. And so I want to go through a step-by-step process that I used in my burnout recovery to crawl out of the darkness from phase 12 of burnout physical collapse to liveliness, to energy in this ever-demanding world. Now, most people will push through or just take a short break, and then they end up in the same cycle over and over again. And true recovery requires real change. So I'm going to go through the 4 stages of recovery so you can see what's coming next. So you can see where you're at and the tools and techniques you need to make it through. We're going to go through shift, survey, support, and sustain. These 4 stages of burnout recovery are going to help you rebuild energy, focus, and create this resiliency lifestyle in an ever-demanding world. So we need to look at the root cause of why burnout happens and why recovery is hard in the first place, why we can't just fix it overnight. It's chronic. It's a chronic stress state in which you have done a ringer physically, cognitively, emotionally, and in relationships that have put you into survivorship mode. And this happened from overcommitting, this happened from lack of boundaries, and it led you to burnout. But without some of the reflection in these stages and structural changes, burnout cycles will repeat. So let's begin with stage 1, shift. This is recognizing the signs and the symptoms of where you're at, because some people will have more of a physical reaction, some people will have more of a cognitive, some more of an emotional, some in a relationship sector. So what's happening? You need to start identifying the signs and symptoms. Are you feeling exhausted or detached or unmotivated or overwhelmed? And then as we start going into this shift, you're going to discover the behaviors that you're observing. Increased irritability? Are you having the brain fog? Having trouble focusing? Are you having that fatigue every day? Really asking yourself, what is happening? How did I get here? And I want you to focus on the things in your control. I think we want to focus outward, like people have done this to us, and my employer is making me work, and no one is helping me. Those might be variables. Yes, that is very common. But you don't have control over that. You don't have control over your employer. You don't have control over other people. You do have control over your change and the actions you will take next. And you are exhausted if you're in burnout recovery. So focusing on that is going to put you in a helpless state. It's going to put you in this hopeless, why try? Focus on the things that are in your control. 100% you can change. Track your energy patterns. What drains you the most? Do an energy audit. Go check out another video on my channel on energy audit and energy mapping. Where are you spending your energy? Where is it regaining and where is it draining? This is the shift part, and it's important not to skip this. It's ugly to look at your life and the things that are falling apart, but this is important because this is the pieces that you need to fix, you need to address, you need to change. Then you can move into stage 2, which is survey. This is reflection and reevaluation of how you got here and the things that you're actually going to do to get you out. So now that we shifted and we know what's happening, the signs and symptoms, we have a view of the areas we need to fix. Now we need to evaluate how we got there. What's happening? You might be seeing unhealthy patterns in that area. You might be unsure of what to change. You might be listing things in your control and things out of your control. You need to start clarifying these areas because you can't take it all on, especially when you're in this burnout state. What patterns and people I'm around and mindsets led me here? Where's my energy leaks? Where am I giving energy away that didn't need to be given away? What tasks am I doing that's causing chaos? Again, it's all self-focused, but in this survey, you're basically up on the top of a mountain looking around. Where am I going to go next? What do I need to fix to get to point B? Then you can move to stage 3, and that's support. This is the rebuild phase. So we have shifted, we have really evaluated where our signs and symptoms are, we have surveyed, so what needs to be fixed, really focusing on behavioral patterns and things in your control. And then stage 3 is that support. So this might be seeking third-party help. This might be testing out new routines. Again, micro moments. Don't go through a complete lifestyle overhaul. You're tired, you're exhausted. Not a good time to do that. So seek help, go to my Patreon page that's linked in the comments, and it has specifics in each category and then in the physical, cognitive, emotional, and relationship sectors to help get you out. We look at boundaries, how do we communicate our needs, stress addiction, energy restoring habits, and all different worksheets, videos, and tools that help get me out of this darkness and back to energy. Now, as you're exploring these tools and trying things out to see what works in your lifestyle and what doesn't, you can move to stage 4, and that means sustain. So the things that are working, do more of that. The things that aren't working, get them off your plate. Your backpacks already have it. You don't need to carry everything with you. Sustain is about growth, prevention of burnout again, and long-term change through a lifestyle. So you may be more balanced, you'll have better boundaries, you're being proactive on self-care, and you're designing a work-life integration, a rhythm that works for you. Now, you need to stay adaptable in this phase because in sustain, growth isn't about perfection. It's about awareness and course correction to make sure that you don't drop back to old habits, to old routines, to old pipelines. You will be tired throughout the burnout recovery because you're moving out of survivorship mode. Your body's exhausted. It just went through a battle, probably for years. Give it grace. It doesn't mean that you're sinking backwards. It doesn't mean that you're unproductive. It doesn't mean that you're failing at this recovery journey. It is coming up for air. It is recovering. Give it some grace. Because burnout recovery is more about just rest. It's about rewiring how you manage stress, how you manage your energy. The goal isn't just to recover, but to not end up back here again.